I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
All right, Chelsea fans, welcome back to another exclusive on our YouTube. This is the London is Blue podcast, and we are jumping in with some lineup predictions for the Norwich City match coming up here today, most likely when you're watching this, Nick. And maximum 3 points available on the table. We would like to take all three because everybody else seems to want to play the floor is lava with top four.
Yeah, nobody wants to take it. So Chelsea's still our third somehow.
Wow, you're really excited about staying in third, aren't you?
I honestly could not believe that United shit the bed so late against Southampton. All well right now, so maybe I did not give them enough credit. But Leicester City, boy, that's a tough one for them for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely been an opportunity for us to capitalize on the misfortune of others. But we're going to get into what our thoughts are for the lineup for this match. Frank has come out, said that Conte is still not available. Tomori's still lingering injuries as well. So we know that there's a couple players we can't pull from for this match, Nick. But why don't you walk me through your lineup and we'll kind of compare and contrast what I've got afterwards and maybe talk about where we agree or disagree.
Well, we talked to Brandon before this, and I think it's really important to note that he wanted Kepa at every position. And I was like, Brandon, that's not the right thing. Like, that's not possible. So just send your strongly worded letters to Brandon because it's a ridiculous thing that he's done. I have, given Frank's comments, Dan, after the last match, which were not overwhelmingly positive, I think we could say the least on that one. I am starting Willy Caballero in goal against Norwich. I know that will maybe not be the most popular opinion, but I think one of the players that Lampard's had his eye on all year is Kepa, and I just don't get a whole lot of confidence from him right now. And frankly, you shouldn't need your top goalkeeper to beat Norwich. So if we if we do, we're in real trouble. But I'm starting Willy. I'm going with the back four of Azpi, Rudiger, Zuma, and Rudiger Zuma is kind of by default given Christensen kind of limped off. And then Alonso as my left back. It's a perfect game for him. Norwich don't have a ton of speed, so he should be all right. Minutes fit, we'll see what happens there. And I'm going to throw in Ruben Loftus-Cheek for a start and Ross the Boss Barkley. And then I'm going with a front three of Willian, Pulisic, and Olivier Giroud. I don't think Frank has a choice but to start Giroud right now. We need to bury these points, and Giroud's the striker in form. So that's how I look. I guess this is like a weird 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1, depending on how it all shakes out.
Yeah, I generally like what you've got here. And I don't say that often, so congratulations. I don't envision, and I'll go through my lineup here. So I think Keppel would start. I'm looking at actually the same back line as you. I'm looking Azpi, Rudiger, Zuma, Alonso, again, taking in consideration the Christensen injury where he limped off, and it may not be 100% match ready to go. I think if there's any chance that he's healthy, it's Kovacic ahead of someone like Jorginho. I think Barkley and Mount, who's been able to find the net since the restart, and Mount, who has played every single match this season, either as a starter or as a substitute, gets in the lineup again. And then you have to go with the people who are scoring, which is Giroud, Pulisic, and Willian. I think Frank's going to want to put it to bed as quickly as possible. When you have Antonio scoring 4 and potentially should have had 6 versus the relegation and championship bound Norwich, you have to go with the hot hand, Nick. And I just don't see a world where even if they're gassed, even if they're tired, that you don't put Willian, Giroud, and Pulisic on. And if we get 2-3 goals up early, that they don't get yanked pretty quickly to save them for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the ideal scenario, right? Unfortunately, the situation that we're in, by this point of the year, we would love to play a second string lineup against a really bad Norwich team, right? Like, and not have to worry about the points. But the position you leave yourself in, getting waxed by Sheffield United at the weekend, is that you have to win this game. Given that Liverpool's coming up and we end the season with Wolves, we've kind of done the rough math, Dan, and it's a 6 points kind of guarantees you the spot that you need at the end of the year. So you got to have 3 of those points come against Norwich. You just have to. If not, we're in big trouble. So I think you have to go full strength. I think you have to be okay, just getting that over early. My hope is that we have a comfortable lead going into half, and Frank's able to make, kind of the tinkering substitutions that he will make after that fact. But I think if you are Mason Mount, I think if you're Christensen, I think if you're Reece James, I think if you're some of the players that drastically underperformed, at least in my mind, against Sheffield United, you will want to come on against Norwich and prove yourself to get into the team against United at the weekend. And I really hope that team spirit is there again.
I think the one interesting wrinkle that we didn't talk about, and I was toying back and forth on the idea of potentially letting Callum Hudson-Odoi into my starting 11 here. He looked good in a cameo appearance after we were already browbeaten effectively in that match, and it was really just burning rubber for the last little bit. Nothing really going on in the game, but he looked sharper than we've seen him. And if you're looking for maybe a bit of change of pace, a little bit of an opportunity to bring someone in who's going to bring in fresh legs, who also, before he got injured and kind of got put out this season and hasn't found his way back in, was doing a really good job at assisting from the angle, whether it's Giroud, whether it's someone else, he's found a way to get the ball into some good spaces, especially if you're going to have Aspi on the right and you're going to want to potentially cross into a target man like Giroud. Maybe you go with him over Willian in this match to start.
Or you do a weird thing and you play Willian, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Christian Pulisic all at the same time in a 4-2-3-1, where Willian starts on the left, Pulisic stays central, and Cal stays on the right. I mean, that could be a thing, right? I mean, Pulisic has been more than effective kind of in the number 10 role this year, and sometimes has dropped really deep to come get the ball so that he can put himself in that position. So maybe I would be fine with that. I mean, I think if you're Cal, you really have to start performing now. Like, Frank, you need to show Frank that you need to be in his plans for next year. And if he gets the chance, I really, really hope he takes it.
Well, with that said, those are our lineups. Those are our 11s. So Brandon had a full team of Kepas. You got to hear Nick's. You've heard mine. So we want to hear what yours are. Drop them in the comments. Let us know what your starting 11 are for this must-win match versus Norwich. Come on, you Blues. Until next time, keep the blue flag flying high.